The situation that we find ourselves in, let's be very clear, is a hostage situation. That's what this is. This Trump government, this Republican Party, this whole country, it's under Israeli occupation. That is a scandal. That is our reality. That is the most pressing political reality of our lives. And it's clear everywhere you look, every way you look at it, this war in the Middle East that goes on without end. Still, they want us to get in another war. We bombed Iran this year. We'll do it again. Mark my words, we'll do it again soon. The acquisition of TikTok by Larry Ellison, of CBS, where they installed Barry Weiss. You have Elon Musk being dragged to Auschwitz-Birkenau and Israel to meet with Netanyahu and Ben Shapiro. You couldn't write it better if you were telling a joke, okay? Now, for the past 10 years, I have been the most talented broadcaster, certainly among the most talented, if you don't think I'm the best. And I have been treated like I'm radioactive, like I'm literally made of radioactive material. Banned from airlines, banks, Twitter, Facebook, Airbnb, you name it. Banned from Turning Point USA, CPAC. I get disavowed by the Prime Minister of Israel and the Speaker of the House and the Republican Party. It's like in the Republican Party platform, they're disavowing me and yay. This is a situation that we find ourselves in. Why? It's not because of my views on race, which are apparently now accepted by the Republican Party or some mainstream commentators in the Republican Party. It's not my position on replacement migration, which has also been accepted. It's not my position on anything other than this issue, because I am stubbornly and ideologically and consistently critical of Israel's domination of the country and of the Republican Party and of these institutions. And for that, I have been unfairly maligned and attacked and lied about and blacklisted and blackballed and harassed. All the things you have known about. You know my story at this point. We're in the middle of this situation now where I interview with Tucker, and the reaction to it has this range where on the pro-Israel side, it's a complete meltdown. Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, they have fired up the cancel culture. And Mark Levin says, what are you talking about? We cancel people all the time. We cancel Pat Buchanan. We're going to cancel him. Shapiro does the greatest hits clip on Monday. Well, he hates women. He's a racist. He's a sexist. Okay.
But of course, I'm not even surprised that they do this, because they hate and they try to mute everyone who is America first, because Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro, they are not loyal to the United States. They are not America first. So they try to destroy everyone, for example, Nick Fuentes, who actually is America first. Because do you really think Mark Levin or Ben Shapiro is loyal to the United States? No, they are loyal to another country. They act like they are America first. They are cosplaying like those conservative America first right-wing guys, but they are not. They are not there, and this is exactly the reason why I think Mark Levin, but also a Josh Hammer, a Ben Shapiro, they are snakes. They're acting like America first. They're acting like they're one of us, but they are not. Believe me, when shit hits the fan, they will choose for another country, and they will not help us. So of course they try to destroy everyone who is criticizing Israel.
So you got the Israel side's freaking out. They're getting Heritage Foundation canceled, the rest of it. Then you have these fence sitters in the middle. Matt Walsh, Jack Posobiec, the others, they say, why is anyone talking about this? Let's go back to winning elections. They say there's two sides that care all about Israel, those that are pro-Israel, those that are anti-Israel. We just want to get back to winning elections. Really? Matt Walsh, the reason you don't talk about Israel is because of that nonsense and not because your boss is Ben Shapiro? Be so for real. Your boss is Ben Shapiro. You couldn't talk about Israel if you wanted to because you would be fired. You're loyal to... He goes on this rant the other day about loyalty. Personal loyalty is the most important thing to me. You're loyal to Ben Shapiro. Drop the tough guy act. You are a cuck, dude. You're personally loyal to Ben Shapiro? Ew. Barf. That's in the middle. And on the other side of the spectrum, even the side of the spectrum that's supposed to be on our side, that gets it, tone policing. Tone policing. You know, and listen, I'm not trying to diss anybody, but I'm getting really sick and tired of hearing this kind of stuff. I'm not going to name any names, but I hear things like people I consider friends calling me an anti-Semite. People I consider friends saying I need to disavow all the talk about Hitler. You said some fucked up stuff about Hitler. Saying, I only care about Israel. We need to get on to the other issues. We are alone. I am alone. You are alone. We are alone. All these political players playing games, setting plays, playing games, posturing, finding an angle, hot takes. I saw Michael Knowles and Chris Rufo. They said the real thing with Nick is that he's not a real Nazi. It's, it's a hyper reality where they're leaning into Nazism, but there's no real ideology. There's nothing really there. It's so not that complicated. All of you people, all of you, the Levins and Shapiros, the Walshes and Posobics, the Gavins and the Alex Jones, and it's so not that complicated. Look at where we are. The entire country, the entire Republican Party is convulsing because people don't want to support Israel. That's it. We are giving Israel $35 billion to kill kids.
Bro, $35 billion. And that's insane. I have to give this side note. It's not for what Nick just said here, or maybe it is, but you can agree with him, you can disagree with him. You should always use your own brain. I always say this, but just think about this. $35 billion we're giving from your money, my money, that's the taxpayers' money. We're giving it to a foreign country. For what? For what? Why are we doing this? We can order, the average American barely buy groceries, can barely pay his rent, can almost not buy a house or a car because everything is crazy expensive, and we are giving $35 billion to a foreign country for I don't know what reason. This is insane, right? I'm almost speechless, and it makes me so mad. We have to work our ass off, and they're giving $35 billion to foreign countries like it's nothing. Like we didn't spend already enough, right? Insane. Seriously, like how is this even possible, and why do people allow this? I don't understand this. $35 billion. Can you imagine how many problems in our own country we could solve in the United States? How many things we could solve here? Because believe me, there's plenty enough problems in the United States, but we should fix first before sending $35 billion to a foreign country. Insane. To also start a war with another country where we also can fight for that again. Like it's so stupid.
$35 billion to kill kids while we're in a debt crisis, while we're at war with Russia, and we're taking a detour to give Israel $35 billion to kill kids, aircraft carrier strike groups to protect them. We bombed Iran. They acquired TikTok because too many people were talking about it. Literally. Shut it down. Too many people are criticizing Israel. And now, the most popular commentators in America are Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes, because we are the only ones who will say a word, a critical word about Israel. We are the only ones that are not completely owned. We're the only ones that are not completely afraid, that will say the slightest thing in opposition or in criticism of Israel. And now that the most edgy member of the trio is moving slightly closer to the mainstream. 3 pieces in the New York Times, 2 pieces in the Washington Post, the Atlantic, the firewall keeping out Nick Fuentes is crumbling. People are making videos, the clips. He's a Stalin admirer, a Hitler adorer. The level of dishonesty, the level of lies and dishonesty. And by the way, they're trying now to make me a scapegoat. Look at how all of them are treating me. All of them. They're making me out now to be the scapegoat so no one can ever criticize Israel. Too many people are criticizing Israel. So now that Tucker had me on the show, they're going to dredge up clips where I would say Hitler cool. And everyone now is going to join in and be complicit in it and throw me on the pyre and crucify me so that I will die for being the one that will criticize Israel. Maybe literally, certainly figuratively at this point. And I'm telling you, I'm not going onto the pyre willingly. I'm not taking back anything that I said. I'm not going to stop focusing on Israel so Republicans can win elections. You. I'm not going to stop talking about the... And by the way, when Tucker says this speech about collective guilt, I have no idea what he is talking about. I am a Christian. We are not talking about genociding anybody. We are not talking about collective guilt. We are possessed by the radical notion that the Jewish state of Israel has something to do with Jewishness. So you can save that speech about collective guilt. We've heard it 4 times now. We got that. Tucker said he told the #1 purveyor of anti-Semitism that anti-Semitism is wrong. Is that what you saw in that interview? Was that what you got from that? Why are we still using that word? What does that word even mean? Sorry, I'm possessed by the radical notion, you can call it identity politics, whatever you want, by the radical notion that the state of Israel cannot be divorced from Jewishness, from Jewish identity, from the religious belief, which has defined their community for millennia, that they are the chosen people.
And they literally say this about themselves, right? And I have one question, and if someone knows the answer, please put it in the comments. I'm very curious. How is it possible that you can criticize every country in the world almost? For example, you can say whatever you want about China, you can say whatever you want about Chinese people, that's all fine. But you cannot criticize Israel a lot, or you cannot criticize Israeli people. Why? Because it's so weird, this double standard, right? That, again, you can criticize every country in the world, no problem at all. People or Israelis can say whatever they want about the United States, all fine. But once you want to say something about them, it's always very dangerous. Why? I never understand this. And this double standard has to stop, because if someone can criticize me, right, I should also be allowed to criticize them. That's fair, right? We live in a country with freedom of speech. And again, respectfully, of course. I mean, I'm not saying you can say whatever you want, of course. But the thing is, like, it's very weird that once you want to say something about Israel, it's always like you should be very careful. And this double standard is like, I never understood this. And again, if someone knows the answer, please put it in the comments, because I feel like this double standard is not fair, if you ask me. You can criticize everyone in the world, every country. They can criticize us Americans, but we can't criticize them. That's very weird, very strange, and that's not what freedom of speech sounds like, if you ask me. But again, correct me if I'm wrong.
They defend their disproportionate representation and power by saying they're smarter than us. Okay? They say, why are we disproportionately represented in every institution? We're smarter than you. We're better than you. Why is Israel so powerful in America? Because Jews that have never set foot in Israel, that aren't Israeli, but were born in America, make billions of dollars here. And because of their, not religious, but ethnic affiliation with Israel, give their military tens of millions of dollars and contribute hundreds of millions to our political campaigns on Israel's behalf. And because for whatever reason, look, that's just the truth. Inconvenient. I know. Uncomfortable. Maybe not politically viable. Well, I'm not running for office. You see me running for office here? So I can tell the truth. And I don't know when I became part of the Republican team. Am I getting paid? I don't know when I was drafted and I'm supposed to be a team player and help Republicans win elections. Have you stopped chasing me out of CPAC for 2 seconds? Now I'm expected to walk a very fine line so that Trump doesn't lose and Vance doesn't lose and he's the only one we got. People are saying, well, what do you want to happen? What do you think's going to happen? I'm here telling the truth. I want to tell the truth. I want people to know the truth. I want someone in power that is like America first. What country are you from? What do you want out of this? Whose side are you on? So I'm getting really agitated, honestly, about all of it. I'm getting really agitated. The level of dishonesty and the level of lying is about 10,000 feet deep. And it's so convoluted, layers and layers of lies. Megyn Kelly said, he said awful, horrible things. Shut up. Shut up. You know what's awful and horrible? What is happening to our country. He said these awful and horrible things. Grow up. How old are you? There are words on a show on the internet from a adolescent male live streamer, and people are, the hand-wringing has got to stop.
Like these people, for real, we have so many real problems in our country. Like there are so many problems. I cannot even mention them all in this video because then this video would be 2 hours long. And these people are complaining about figures like Nick Fuentes, but also with Kenneth Owens and Tucker Carlson, about what they are saying is so wrong. Grow up. You're an adult, like for real. Why do you think people like Nick Fuentes, Kenneth Owens, Tucker Carlson, why do you think they're getting so popular? Because they're saying the things what many people agree on, what many people wants to hear, and where many people think, yeah, that is the truth. And not because all these mainstream medias, it's all fake news if you ask me. Again, my opinion, I don't trust them. And I trust the people who don't work for a boss. For example, Nick Fuentes. He is independent. And this is exactly the reason why they can say whatever they want. And then you have these people who are constantly crying, also the Mark Levins and the Ben Shapiro's, I said this before. Oh, Nick, what he is saying, it should not be allowed, and it's not good for our country. People can decide this for themselves. We're all adults, and we should stop acting like babies. But again, this is just my opinion, but it's so frustrating that you have people who constantly try to blackmail people with a real opinion. That's crazy, right? I'm curious about your opinion. What do you think about this whole situation that you constantly have people complaining about the fact that you have people with a real opinion that they can't say this opinion? That's weird, right? We live in a country with freedom of speech. Grow up.
That's all I've been hearing all week from Eric Metaxas. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your lying mouth. From all of them, Shapiro, this guy, the Christian Zionist, the pro-Israel crowd, the women, Megyn Kelly. He said awful, horrible, monstrous things. You really don't have an imagination. You think that's the worst thing happening in our country? If you followed the coverage of the Tucker interview, you would think that this country is utopic. And the only problem is that somewhere in the suburbs of Chicago, a young man said some naughty words. Really? Like, look around. 10 million illegal aliens in 4 years. We're at war with Russia. You have half the country is on welfare and hates Americans, hates whites. All the women are feminists. You know, 85% of the 18 to 29-year-old women voted for Zohran Mamdani, this like race communist. You know, the stabbing of Irina Zarutska, Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck, the genocide in Gaza that we're paying for, and literally it's so sticky, we can't get out of it. There's no way out. Netanyahu is living part-time at the White House. ordering us around, bomb Iran immediately, like, and people are going, this monster with his show. At a certain point, somebody needs to just stand up and say enough of the lies. And by the way, I didn't come here to bring peace to the Republican Party. Guilty as charged. I came to bring a sword. I came to, and I don't mean to sound blasphemous when I say this, but I came here to tell the truth. It's actually not my job to unite the Republican voters. That's your job. You people that are paid by the Republican Party, you people that have the clout, you people that are in the clubs that I'm not allowed in, that's your job. People are saying he's dividing the right wing. Good. It's about time. Look at our right wing. Our right wing is a joke. Look at this administration. What does the right wing even stand for? Does it stand for Americans? No, they're cowards. They're feminist. They're pro-LGBT. They're pro-diversity. They're barely Christian. You know, is this administration, do you get a Christian vibe from them? No. They're not deporting anybody. They're not serious about any of it. Charlie Kirk died, and Trump could barely muster a sentence about it. Forget about, they talked about shutting down Antifa. When's that going to happen? It's about time somebody came in and shook things up and stirred the pot. And this monster, this horrible person, he's evil. He's dividing the party. What's his end game? Somebody needs to get up and cut through all the dishonesty. Ignore it. Ignore it. Sidestep it. I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to debate it. I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to entertain it. Someone needs to cut through all of it with clarity. Someone needs to cut through all of the nonsense, all the subterfuge, all the calculated deception, which is what I do on the show, and just say it simply. We want to be free from Israel.
And this is the reason why many people follow Nick, why many people like Nick, because again, I said this before, he is talking about many things where not many people talk about, but they agree with him. And again, always use your own brain. You don't have to agree with everything he says, of course. Like, who am I to tell you this? Of course you know this, but use your own brain. But you can deny that Nick is speaking many facts sometimes. Seriously, shout out, and Nick for president. I think he's a really smart guy, and I think we should save him at all costs, because this is kind of dangerous, if you ask me. Look at Charlie Kirk. Again, I'm very curious about your opinion. Do you agree with Nick? Do you disagree with Nick? Please share your opinion in the comments. I'm very curious, and it's very important to say I read all comments, so please share your opinion. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And last but not least, guys, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!